Hey, now it's the Rob from 106.1 KISS FM here with my tag team partner in podcasting.
Hey, it's Eric Cornish, and thank you for joining the Enhancement Talent.
Back in the old stomping grounds.
That's right. It's kind of bringing back some old memories here as we are here in the ESPN Evansville studios, and it's kind of where, well, it's not where it all got started, but I think we started in the KDQ studio eventually, and
I don't think so.
I think our very first episode was in the KDQ studio, and we had somebody walk in on us. Remember, in the middle of recording. But
we've had a few run-ins on the show.
Anyway, the Enhancement Talent has been going for a while. I never expected it to become what it has. It wasn't even called the Enhancement Talent when we first started. But
did we even have a name when we first started?
No, we were just talking wrestling and CM Punk, and is CM Punk coming back?
Yeah, that was the big thing.
He still hasn't.
Early 13, I want to say, is when we started doing that.
Yeah. So anyway, the reason we're kind of reminiscing with you here is because I recently accepted a job in my hometown of Louisville. So
congratulations,
thank
by the
you.
way.
I appreciate that. So I will be leaving this area and headed back home to working a block away from the legendary Louisville Gardens, might I say.
Mm-hmm.
Very excited about that, wrestling-wise. But anyway, it's been a great run with the Enhancement Talent. We're going to have one more show. But end of an era, man, and this has been cool.
Eric, I've loved doing this with you. You've put a ton of effort into this, way more than I have, and I appreciate everything you've done for this. You'll continue to be a friend, although
Absolutely.
we'll no longer be co-workers. And we will always talk wrestling in some capacity.
Absolutely. We will. And whatever may happen, make sure you still follow us on Twitter, especially now, at the E-Talent, because who knows? We may be getting together for some special shows, and who knows?
No matter what company each of us works for, we'll always be buddies. And if you want to talk on our website, as far as I'm concerned, the invitation is open. And hopefully that's vice versa. Maybe we'll be able to reconnect.
Yeah.
I will still be talking wrestling under a different name. We won't be the Enhancement Talent because I feel like you and I are the Enhancement Talent.
That's our tag team. There's only one Four Horsemen.
But I think I've got
new Blackjacks.
I think I've got a great guest, a great second chair lined up, and I will continue where the Enhancement Talent left off in the near future. It might not be next week, it might not be the week after, but we will still be talking about wrestling, at least on 1061evansville.com. So
absolutely,
that's something I'm looking forward to.
But again,
as well.
I'm going to miss this place, but I'm very excited to go home, and who knows who I might run into there. Maybe Al Snow, maybe Nightmare Danny Davis and Jim Cornette, and we'll. I'll pull them in and say, "Hey, we need to Skype with my buddy Rob and have a little Enhancement Talent." So,
if I could just have some parting words for you to steal a line from the King, Eric, I hate to see you go, but I love to watch you leave.
Yeah, I know why.
I
anyway.
do. I hate to see you go, and I don't want to get all cry, but it's been a lot of fun.
And it's a little, we don't want to get too much like Ric Flair sobbing all over the place, but let's talk wrestling. Let's do it.
Let's do it.
Because that's what we do here. Yeah, that's right. And then, so about this time, you mentioned this time every year, we kind of try to look ahead to WrestleMania as the, things start falling into place very early, but start falling into place, and see if we can predict some of the matches for WrestleMania coming up in Dallas.
Yeah.
What do you think?
It is a tradition for us around halfway mark between WrestleManias. We like to throw some predictions out there. And I've got a few predictions of my own. Nothing that's going to set the world on fire. Nothing that really hasn't been talked about yet. But I have a few matches in my head. You mentioned that the show is going to be in Dallas, which makes it very interesting. It's been talked about. It's been declined. It's been accepted. It's a whole weird state. The first match I'm going to throw out there, just because it's been talked about so much, is Lesnar and Austin.
And I will agree with you on that one, actually, yeah.
I don't know that I would bet on it, but it seems like it could definitely happen. If you watch Austin's podcast with Paul Heyman, you would think it's definitely happened.
I think it was set up perfectly there, or either that or it was just Heyman kind of going off the cuff and Austin just jumping right in. However, I will say that JR said on his podcast, on his blog, he was like, let's face it, folks, Austin is not coming back to wrestle Brock Lesnar at WrestleMania, which almost guarantees it is. So JR is very good at working people, and I think it will happen. I think you're right.
Okay. You want to throw one out there, or you want me to throw another one?
Yeah, let me throw one out there. the way things are right now, I don't see it happening, but it definitely could down the road. It's been one I wanted to see for a while. It just seems like two of the members of this mix really aren't fitting into this. I would love to see a triple threat match for the World Heavyweight Championship with the Shield.
Okay.
I think, this would be the good time. They've dropped back on Reigns a little bit, but depending on how they come out of this feud with the Wyatts and where they go from here, maybe teasing tension between Ambrose and Reigns, I think that would make a really good story headed into WrestleMania.
Well, it's almost like they're afraid to call them the Shield right now because they don't have that third member, but it is kind of like a Shield reunion.
It is.
With Reigns and Ambrose and what they're doing. I have different plans for Seth Rollins on my imaginary card. I think that the often talked about Triple H feud will culminate at this year's WrestleMania.
It makes sense as well.
If it doesn't happen before then. But I think that could be where it takes place or happens for a second time. But I think that the way Triple H is grooming Seth Rollins... Did I say Reigns?
I know who you meant Rollins.
I'm sorry, yes, I meant Rollins. The way that Triple H is grooming Seth Rollins, I hate when I screw those names up, that it's only for himself. I think that Rollins and Triple H may butt heads at this year's WrestleMania, if not sooner.
Yeah, you could see that whole,
that's right. Yeah,
back with Randy Orton the same way.
I don't know who would be heel and face in that match. I'm assuming Rollins might be face.
I've gone back and forth on it, but it's just everything that's happened with Rollins. I mean, although he is a heel, he's made to look really, really good. Just like he was with Cena. Like we talked about the white gear and the symbolic stuff there. I would see him as a babyface, but then again, he's such a good heel. I could see Triple H being the babyface. So I don't know. It's tough for me to call.
He has had the first title run of his career has been better than anyone else's. My goodness, his first run with the championship. My goodness, it's been epic. I've loved it. And I've got one more to throw out there if you want.
Yeah, go ahead. You throw it out.
This is the basic pumpkin spice latte version of a match, but one that was been talked about for a very, very long time. But it kind of makes sense. What about Undertaker and Sting?
Man, and we've been back and forth, and I said I didn't want to see the match, and I said, well, now that the streak's over, I'm cool with that. I will say the only way I want to see this match is if it is a double retirement match. I would love to see both of them go into the Hall of Fame this year. I would love to see both of them go into retirement after this match, so it doesn't matter who wins.
I think this year is too soon for both of them to go into the Hall of Fame, although it being in Texas, I could see at least Undertaker going in. I don't like when active wrestlers I want their career to be done when they go into the Hall of Fame. In fact, I want a few years to have gone by since their last match, to be totally honest with you. But they are certainly both Hall of Fame worthy wrestlers.
Yeah.
And one thing I wanted to mention in last week's episode that I forgot to mention, one thing that makes me really happy is I think Sting is really happy where he is. I think he's someone who really resisted the McMahon family for so long that I think he was really nervous and tepid to come over. But I think he's happy he did.
Well, I think he's made the most out of whatever he's done. I mean, because even in TNA, I mean, he embraced that and did really well and kind of came up with a whole new character with that Joker character, which he's used a little bit here.
Which he definitely used 2 weeks ago, or I'm sorry, on Monday, on Labor Day. But I don't want him to end his career in TNA. Do you?
No, absolutely not.
But I wanted him to come over and not regret it. I wanted to come over, balls to the wall, everything all in, and I feel like he has, and that makes me happy. Like when Brett came back.
Right.
I just feel like it was a hatchet that was buried, that was bothering everybody. And now he's happier now, and I think that Sting is too.
And I would here's another match I want to throw out, and here's where I don't think Triple H faces Rollins, and they planted the seeds last year. I would really like to see a mixed tag team match: Triple H and Stephanie versus The Rock and Ronda Rousey.
You think it's going to happen?
I don't know if it's going to happen because, of course, you got Dana White who may stand in the way. But I think Dana White and Vince McMahon and Triple H or whoever are a lot closer than they let on.
Did you not read what I read yesterday?
No.
I heard that even without Dana White, Ronda Rousey can't do it because she's filming a movie in like Indonesia or something at the same time.
It's the Roadhouse movie.
But you could always make exceptions.
Let's say if you don't have Ronda Rousey, it doesn't matter because I will say you will have one epic, and I mean epic, Divas match. At least I hope, and I hope it's one-on-one right there at WrestleMania. I mean, first choice would be definitely the boss, Sasha Banks, versus somebody, whether it's Charlotte, whether it's Paige, whether it's Natalya, whether it's Bayley on the main roster. I don't care who it is. I want to see a one-on-one match, and
tear the house down.
And I want to see a major, and just like the next NXT Takeover, you're gonna have a main event. Iron Woman match, 30-minute Iron Woman match, and rightfully so. It needs to be main event.
Yeah.
So I want to see an epic Divas match, and hopefully it's one-on-one. That's what I want to see.
Okay. Well, there you have it. Our 3 predictions, and of course the big announcement from Eric. And I'm glad that we have one more episode. But I will tell you again, buddy, I am really going to miss you.
I'm going to miss you too, man.
I really am.
This is. We'll keep something going. So like I said, follow us on Twitter at the eTalent, and we will make sure we reunite for sure. But we've got one more episode, and thank you for joining us right here.